welcome everyone. I appreciate you taking some time to connect with us today and to catch up on Aktion Solutions. Hopefully you've heard the Aktion story by now, but in case you haven't, we are one of the largest value-added resellers of ERP throughout North America. We provide industry-specific ERPs, and of course, construction being the largest of all of those for our business. So again, glad you could join us today, and glad Jane is here with me. Jane, most of you probably have known for many years, and she's one of our customer success agents focused on Sage customers specifically. One of the key things that we've learned in the 45 years that we've been in business, selling particularly to the construction industry, is that our clients are very concerned as they consider modernizing their technologies. They're very concerned about their data. What happens to the history of data that I've compiled? How can I access that data? Those sorts of things. And we made a conscious decision a while back to invest heavily in 3 specific areas that are related to data that we think will help our clients as they move forward in their modernization of technology solutions. One of those is what we refer to as data migration tools, which is basically the ability to take data, your historical data, even down to the job cost level, from your legacy ERP to a modern ERP. The other is a data integration tool, which allows you to integrate your Sage ERP to third-party solutions that you may want to add on to your technology environment. And the one that we're going to spend the time on today, that Jane is prepared to talk through with you, is what we refer to as data analytics. So all of that data that you've compiled over the years, and as you move forward with modern solutions, how do you access that in a common way? How do you answer questions like why things happened, as opposed to just simply being reported as to what had happened? And how do you prepare all of that data and the analysis of that data as you start to consider how technologies like AI might apply to your business? So that's what Jane will spend time with you today. And without further ado, I'll hand it over to Jane.
Thanks, Dave. Hi, everybody. Nice to see everybody today virtually. A little bit about me. I think most of you have known me through the years. I'm a customer success analyst at Aktion. And prior to that, you may have known me through the acquisitions at MNP and further back to Metrologics. Just for some context, I have been around for a while in the 300 CRE space, as well as 100 contractor. Now, of course, the Sage Cloud solution, which is Sage Intacct for construction. So we are talking about Aktion Analytics, and before we get into the product, a couple of things. We've partnered with a company called Focus Analytics. They've been around for over 24 years. They've got 3,000 customers worldwide, with a very good retention rate of about 97%, which says a lot for the product that they actually have produced. So Aktion made the decision to partner and create our own product for our customers. And one of the reasons we did this is that we're committed to our Sage customers wherever they are in the journey. They may not be ready to go to the Sage Intacct for cloud. They want to still use Sage 300 CRE, but we want to give you the tools so you can take it from where it is today, and you can extrapolate it, get better data analysis, and get a product to a much more developed state than what maybe it is today. So that's the big picture about the why. Some of the other whys is Sage data is there, but it's not necessarily easily accessible. As you guys know, you can use the report writer, you can use Crystal, but it's often quite a complex reporting. Sometimes it's an issue with user licenses, with access to reporting. It's static. So this Aktion Analytics tool, I'm going to open my screen in just a second. It's a cloud-based tool. It's a visual read only. So you don't take a license of Sage, which is a really important feature as well. And you don't have anybody messing around in your Sage data. They're going to be in a read only world on the cloud. Without further ado, I'm going to share my screen and you guys can tell me as soon as you see it. Yeah. Is that seen now?
Yep, we can see it.
Okay, I just have to get the camera off because there we go. All right, awesome. Okay, so I've talked a little bit about why we're looking at Aktion Analytics and what it does. This is my homepage. So my homepage can look exactly as I want it. This just happens how I like it. It's determined by users, customizable. So whenever we talk about Aktion Analytics, it's a data analytical tool. And there's different types of content. So if I go here, you'll see the content is alerts, dashboards, databases, and favorites. And I do that, and I see a whole list of things here. I've got some bookmarks. If I go over to my alerts, this is basically where I set a threshold and I say I want to look at jobs with cost exceeding estimates, or I want to look at my customers with a debt over 90 days, so I can create an alert. I can also come in here and create subscriptions. So again, you can have people that have read-only access. They can have the reports they're subscribed to. They can access from a web browser anywhere. I'm going to come back to my home page. So I want to show you first the dashboards, because that's the sort of the great visual interface that shows you performance. So basically up here, you can see this is the project manager role, and it's extremely customizable. It can be filtered by the job prefix, the job status. It can be filtered by project manager. So if I want to see just what Michael Perkins is up to, I can click on that, and I can go up here and I can click on focus, and I will see all of the details just for that one project manager. So when I want to go back to the main page for this dashboard, I just click on reset. So I'm just going to walk through some of this information. Up here, you can see I have the ability to move my widgets around. These are all widgets within. I have the ability to come in and edit any widget. So I'm just going to quickly show you something simple and easy. I'm changing my pie to be a donut. So there we go. So now I've got a donut visual instead of a pie. Down here, we've got our summary graphs. This is our contract versus build, our estimate versus cost. Anytime I hover over one of the bar lines, I can see a synopsis. I can click on any one of them and I can go drill in. And again, the word focus up here, it allows you to focus on that data. Down here, I've got some summary bar charts, build versus cost, OpenAR versus OpenAP, cash position. I've got some job summary information below here. So my estimate, my commitment, my cost, and then I've got my estimated remaining to commit, my percentage estimating remaining to commit, and my estimated cost remaining and percentage. So this is all pre-built for you. So, but remember that Aktion Analytics is a platform. So about 80 to 90% of the data that's out of the box, that's pre-built that you get, is going to be what you need. Maybe you need an extra 10%, 20%. And that's easily done. We can actually help you with that. You can do a lot of it on your own. The other thing is Aktion's always building. We're building dashboards, we're building data. So when you subscribe to the product, you get all the content that we add. Continuing on this dashboard, I've got change management here. Again, I can see my estimate, the original approved and revised. I've got my committed, original approved and revised. And I've got my contract, original approved and revised. Right down here, this is what we call the grid. And the grid is sort of known as the Holy Grail because this is information that's not so easy to get from Sage in such a manner that you can put side by side. Down here, I've got my contracts and billing. Again, I've got my contract, my work billed, remaining to bill, percentage complete, payments received, balance owed, and retainage balance. Of course, hold back. And then we've got some visuals on labor, if you want to look at the labor information as well, and then some vendor analysis. Again, this is all the jobs. We can slice and dice by just the job. So this is an overview of what the project manager role looks like for the dashboard, but I want to show you a couple of really great features. One of them is anywhere on any widget, you're going to see this little arrow. And when I click on that, takes me directly to the database behind the widget. So I'm not going to spend time here right now, but I wanted to show you how cool it is that you're on a dashboard and you're able to click on Analyze, and it takes you to all the data behind that one single widget. So I'm going to close it because we're going to come back to that afterwards. The other really cool feature, I'm going to come back up to my job summary information, and I'm going to click on my job here, and I'm going to do job analysis with PJ. So what that does is it opens a brand new tab. And in this tab, it's the same information we were looking at, a couple of differences, of course, because this was built custom. And then here I've got my financial positions, the same information, but look at my cost variance. I'm actually showing it now by cost code. I'm drilling down. And I can continue to drill down to the type. So I've got my equipment. So I'm able to drill down to the data. So I don't have to leave. I don't have to go into Sage. I can actually stay in the dashboard, open up another dashboard, and I can drill down into my data. So you can see right across the details, the estimate, committed cost, all across. Same thing for my job cost transactions. I can go look at my cost codes, and I can look at the labor types. And again, this is all drilled down. I can see the actual job and extra, the cost code, category, detailed transaction type, the accounting or transaction date, all the way across. And this is all, again, customizable, but this is the way that this dashboard was built for out of the box. So I mentioned the database. And then again, this is a little bit further. You can see all of these. This is, a built dashboard that you can use. You can clone anything and change it for your own. You could duplicate. So I mentioned the database. So I want to go back to home for a second and let's look at just look at the databases. So these are the databases we have. And as you can see, there's about 29 of them. It can be anything. It can be the PJ owner changes. It can be labor, job cost, categories, etc. So all of the data that you see in the dashboards and the reporting is built on these databases. So I'm going to quickly go back to my dashboard to show you something here. A dashboard, look at the database. You've got 4 here. You've got a myriad of databases all on this one dashboard. So I showed you the project manager and I showed you the job analysis. I want to show you the database behind the job costing. So this is basically a very cool tool. You can come in here and you can see this is the job costing and it's got a job costing summary. I've got my job to date. So you can see 66 million is my total. If I come here and I click on job, I can actually slice and dice this data and just click on one job or a couple of jobs that I want. On the left-hand side, these are the buttons that we basically call dimensions, and that allows you to sort the data, to slice and dice it. And on the top, you have the ability to filter. So the filter allows you to say what data you want to be displayed. And then down on the side, it shows you how you want to display that data. So if I come up here and I'm going to do my variance, and I've got right now just contract showing, I'm going to choose work build, I'm going to choose retainage build, estimate, open AR, open AP, and commitment. So I click off there and it's going to do its thing. And you can see all these columns are being added. So I've got my contract, my work build, retainage build, estimate, commitment, open AP, open AR. And again, you see how quickly it was just to add a couple of things to the stream. I can just do it by job type. For example, I can see what kind of job that is. I can look at the project managers for the job. I'm going to go back up here. I'm going to take the job off. So this is a really cool tool. Again, you're not leaving the system. You're not having to go into Sage to look up data. You've got the database behind the report. You can slice and dice the data the way that you want to see it. Are there any questions so far?
Not that I can see.
Okay, so I want to move to another dashboard. So this is the job cost summary dashboard. And I'm just going to go up here. So you've got basically your margin analysis, your total contract amount, your breakdown, your margin widgets. And then down here, you've got your work in progress. So this is actually your WIP. So this is really cool. You can actually come in here and see your WIP. And this, again, you don't have to go create a report in Sage. It's right here for you. And of course, you've also got your production units if you're interested as well. I also want to show you the executive dashboard. This is, CFO. Somebody wants to look at the high level, the KPIs, the quick ratio, debt to assets, cash position, some of our AR and AP pie charts. Then we also have financial information, which is basically for a controller and looking at the details about cash balances, bank balances, accounts receivable. So this is pretty cool. In your accounts receivable, you can actually drill down and see the actual details of the invoices within the actual dashboard. One thing I do want to show you as well in the other dashboard is this financial statement. Oh, okay, this one here. I'm going to go back to my home screen, sorry about that, and I'm going to go to my bookmarks, and there's a couple of other dashboards that I want to show you. Just going to open those up here. Again, these are all the pre-built ones that you get out of the box, but you can create your own very easily. This is the accounts payable details dashboard. And then this is the commitment information as well. If you want to look at all your commitment status, again, you can drill down with your purchase order, and you can drill down even further to see the details. Across here, you've got all the details on your purchase order, item balanced, and any amount that's outstanding. And then the other thing I wanted to show you was the ability to do financial statements. So over here, this is the financial statements. And we have a couple here. I've got one open up here. This is basically the financial statements. You can go profit and loss. You can do the income statement. You can do the balance sheet, cash flow, trial balance. You can come in here and customize your statement as well. I'm not going to show you the customization part, but it's pretty quick and easy. I think one of the things we want to demonstrate is the ease of use. This is not something that you need to, let's say, take Crystal Reports. Crystal Reports is a little bit labor intensive to learn, and then sometimes only one person in the company has the knowledge. This is something that an end user could come in and modify and edit. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I've gone over the dashboards that I wanted to show you, and I've gone over the database that I wanted to show you. Perfect. Okay. So the last thing here is just to go over the financial statement here. You can open up the cost, and you can open up the expenses. And then again, you can come down here and open up you can open up them all by just doing this double arrow here. And you can close them all there as well. So this is a high-level overview of what it looks like. This is my home page here, and this is the analytics is where you come in and you can choose all your databases. You can come in here and you can create your financial statements, and then you can also have your favorite reports. You can use your dashboards, and then you can go straight into the database. Are there any questions?
It looks like we have a few in the chat. I will go ahead and push. We can enter the Q&A session if you are done with your presentation, and that way anyone who has questions can kind of put them in the chat. I can send one of them to the screen now so we can see this one. What's the advantage of using data analytics over Power BI?
Yeah, this is my favorite question. Actually, I'm stealing the answer from Focus, and Ellen from Focus is on the call with us as well today. They are a partner, as I mentioned, and we work with them hand in hand. And one of Ellen's colleagues described it very well. A couple of things. First of all, with Power BI, it is a lot more of a complex tool. You have to have a certain user skill set to be able to use it. You're not able to automate the financials in Sage as you are with this Aktion Analytics. And be able to forecast as well, which Aktion Analytics has the ability for forecasting. The other thing is Power BI, although it's a great tool for data analytics, their analogy is because this is built for our customers already, we've already gone into the Sage database, we've pulled all the tables, and of course, if we implement for you, we'd pull the appropriate tables in your instance. This is all pre-built. So it's kind of the analogy where you go to a car dealership and you buy a car versus with Power BI, you go and buy all the parts for a car and then you have to put the car together. So I really like that analogy because we're trying to show you that we've done all this work for you. We've taken this great data analytic tool and then we've applied it to the content of Sage 300 CRE for you so that you're getting very dynamic visual reporting that you can drill down and slice and dice and things you can't get today in Sage. And with Power BI being an agnostic tool, you wouldn't be able to get that kind of flexibility that you get with this tool.
Yeah, cool. Great response. Got one more over here. How will this automate our WIP?
So I'll just go back to let me just see here. I've got my tabs open. Okay, it's over here. Sorry about that. I've got here, my job summary. So right now, if you have to go through the process for WIP in Sage 300 CRE, by using this dashboard, the job summary dashboard, you're able to come in here and have your WIP done for you. And there's a lot of automation that you can do. These are just the ones, again, pre-built. We worked with our customers to see what they wanted most, and we sort of built the data to date based on what our customers have given us feedback on. So the WIP is one of those things.
It looks like we just have one other question, so I'll go ahead and push that to the slide area. How many dashboards do we have to create to use this efficiently?
Oh, that's a good question. Very few, I would almost say one per role, because basically one of the nice things is with this project manager role, I did show the filtering, but you can filter it so that Joseph Smith comes in and he only sees his jobs, or you can give him the ability to see his jobs and other people on his team and then filter it out. So you're not creating a dashboard for Joseph, a dashboard for Doug, a dashboard for Michael. You can create one, and then you can just set up the filter and permissions for each individual. I think the way that I would sort of describe it is, because you're taking the data out of Sage 300 CRE and putting it into this very powerful analytical tool, you're able to make it much more dynamic, and you're not relying on multiple reports and then stitching things together. So you're able to, the data is all here. It's up to you. It's up to your imagination. Wherever you want to go with this tool can take you there, providing, of course, you have the data tables, which we would work with you if there's anything that's not in the system today.
Great. I can wait a few extra, we can wait like an extra minute to see if any other questions pop up into the chat. But is there anything else that you wanted to share, Jane?
So a couple of things. I just wanted to just reiterate some of the pros. Like, I've been, learning this product enough, as they say, enough to be dangerous, enough to love it. I mean, I've been around the 300 space for a long time. It's a product that's been around for a while, and the data is there, as I mentioned at the beginning, but I think it's worth repeating. This really takes your Sage 300 CRE to another level, because your data can do things and help you run your business in ways you couldn't do before as easily, without having to export multiple reports, stitch things together, work more in silos. And as I've been learning to sort of demonstrate this product at a high level, I can see the applications are very powerful. And it's a game changer in terms of being able to take your data and make it more meaningful for your company, and then to be able to help in terms of efficiencies. The other thing is, it is really think worth noting that it does integrate with other systems. So for example, if you're using Procore for your project management, Aktion Analytics also integrates with Procore. So you can integrate your Sage 300 CRE and your Procore using this tool.
Jane, while we are waiting for any additional questions, I wanted to just add 2 points. Awesome presentation. And everyone, this is Ellen from Focus. It's exciting to see Jane present to you all. And the only things I want to add, 2 things. One, a lot of times when people come to us to learn more about this tool, it's because they're potentially, like you mentioned, using crystal reports, or a lot of times exporting to Excel and doing a lot of manipulation, as she's mentioned. So all of those different times you would see the grid and all of those different streams of data. Generally, that's 5 to 6 exports from Sage, merging them together, emailing them out to the teams, having them manually update, maybe send things back to you. So in addition to just being a lot more efficient and automated, you also can save on some potential manual errors that people find in Excel. We also convert a lot of people that are using Antera over to our product as well. So if any of you are using Antera, we can do pretty much everything that they do and more. One thing that I know Jane touched on, but we don't have time to show it all in one webinar, but quite a few 300 CRE customers are adding this tool, not only for this operational data, but to do their job forecasting. So we have an add-on module where you can work with your PMs and go through on a weekly or monthly basis and forecast out where all of their jobs are expected to be, based on the cost codes or whatever other dimension you might want to use. So I just wanted to put that plug out there, because it is something that we're doing quite often with Aktion customers.